Hello everybody, welcome back to WiscoTrains and my layout, the modern Green Bay and Western. This will be a layout update. We got a decent amount that we have gotten accomplished over the last couple weeks. As you can see, I got some track work done and the Green Bay and Western rides again. I got my Dash 9 painted up in Green Bay and Western colors. So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the track work, and we'll take a look at some things that I'm planning on doing coming up here. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I will see you in the next clip. Okay, so here is Green Bay and Western number 210, a C44-9W, also known as a Dash 9 GE locomotive. So this is that CN-9 you've seen rolling around the layout in all my previous layout videos. I finally got the urge and the guts to put some paint towards it. This is the most expensive locomotive that I have ever purchased, to my knowledge, and it took a lot for me, so for me to put paint on it. That first coat, I was like, oh dear Lord, what have I done? I've ruined my locomotive. But by coat 2, coat 3, and especially by the time I got these decals on, I think it turned out really well. There's still a few little things that need to be done, but we'll talk about that. So decals are by Circus City Decals. So I'll just show you the business card they sent along. The decals are Green Bay and Western, obviously. They also have some in that kit for Minnesota Commercial, because the Minnesota Commercial bought a lot of GB&W Elko power. Decal-wise, I would say the hardest part was getting this checkerboard pattern done on the sides. So right here, the sill is large enough that you can see both portions of the top and the lower portion. Back here, obviously, you can see, because right here is where the sill ends. At least I think that's what that part of the locomotive is called, the sill. It's not quite big enough, but I just used a lot of microsol to kind of bend the decals under, and I think it turned out pretty well. I don't think you notice it too much. I left the white handrails as is from the CN locomotive. Those fit pretty well with what the Green Bay and Western all red scheme had. I think most of my locomotives will be in this all red scheme. I plan on having a few, maybe 3 or 4 that are in the red and gray, depending on how many locomotives I purchase and actually operate. I have a schematic design that says that there's 60 locomotives owned by the Green Bay and Western. Never going to have 60, but out of that 60, probably 5 or 6 have the red and gray scheme. So that'll take a little more effort and a little more work on my part, so we'll see. I think the all red works just well in depicting the Green Bay and Western. And then I also want one in the Homer McGee special scheme with chevrons on it. I think that would also be cool to do. Just some things that still need to work on. It obviously needs weathering. It's way too clean. Even with the matte, it looks too clean. And then I need number boards. I didn't have the patience when I was working on this to put in the number boards, so those are not done yet. One other thing about 210 I'd like to note is that this is going to become or in my lore, it's an ex-Burlington Northern Santa Fe Dash 9. The number one reason being is because of the windows right here. So CN-9s have teardrop windows if they're not the Triclops version. I'll insert a picture here of what the windows should look like. And as you can see, these are the normal everyday GE windows. Not that I'm complaining, but kind of weirds me out that WiscoTrains has the rivets counter version, which has the wrong windows too, and it's claiming to be the rivet counter version. So just a little complaint there. Next, we're going to talk about the track work and what I've done there and some notes about it. Alright, so I've laid a decent amount of track. As you can actually see here, this is actually the main line right here. This is the main line right here. And then this is Black Creek siding. I'm using Code 55 Atlas track. Maybe not the most detailed track, but it's really working. I just wanted to show you something about it. So this is Code 55. You can see the profile there if it wants to. Yep, so there's the profile. The other option in N scale, in Atlas, is code 80, and this is what code 80 track looks like. I just want to compare the two. And first I'll talk about some cons here about code 80. Or sorry, code 55. This is the code 55. FlexTrack is kind of a pain to work with. So this is this one down here below is the rail that moves whenever the FlexTrack is bent. It can be a real pain in the butt to get rail joiners on here. It just wants to like bend and move every time you try to push on it. I will admit, code 55 FlexTrack, real pain in the butt to work with. However, I want you to look at the difference between these two pieces and how much more realistic this looks, even the profile. Ever look at a picture of a layout and say, wow, I really know that's N scale? And you just kind of think to yourself, how would I know? Like, there's nothing there that really says, oh, this is N scale. Most things that are available in HO, available in N. Well, here's the thing. It's the track. If you notice this giant height, it's not that this is bad track. This track works really well. I used it on my last layout, shelf layout. It's just, this is infinitely more realistic. And I don't even know why Atlas, when they make this stuff, doesn't make the ties the same size. I don't know if they're kind of playing into that. This is more durable then. Because if you made the ties the same spacing as this, as the code 55, this code 80 would look a lot better. It'd still be really high. But it's one of those things that you might not notice, and this is to quote Red Letter Media and their character Mr. Plinkett, you might not notice, but your brain did. And I've really noticed that with this new layout, putting the code 55 on, really looks much better. And I couldn't be happier, despite the extra work and the cursing down here. I couldn't be happier with picking that, making the choice for code 55 as opposed to the code 80. Though, as I look at this stuff, I kind of think, kind of want to build myself a ON18 or GN15 micro layout now. I mean, don't tell the wife, but it would be kind of fun to do. So, I'll show you where I got trackage done. So, all of Black Creek siding is finished, as you can see here. We've got 2 switches laid to go into the cheese factory. We'll talk about that a little bit more here. Let's see, in Seymour, I got this spur put in for our grain elevator. This will be the only number 7 or only switch that isn't a number 7 on the layout. It's number 5. It's so I can get that 2-track little area where there's car storage for the grain elevator. This will be kind of where the cars are loaded. And then I should have space here before the road crossing right here to sit another 2 or 3. So technically speaking, this will be able to take, 4 fit back here in the little yard. And then you put 2, so probably up to 8 cars really. Maybe I'll run 8 cars is kind of small for a unit train, but something like that. What I've been using for the roadbed on these spurs and other things is this self-adhesive cork that I got at Hobby Lobby for like $5, $4, really cheap. It's working pretty well. I got to trim this down a bit. As you can tell, it's a little wide, but really I'm not complaining too much. The reason I went with this this self-adhesive cork is it's 0.9 millimeter thick. This foam road bed that I used is 1 millimeter thick, so I can stack 1, 2, 3 and get a different height than what I have on the main line. So that way I can do different kinds of elevation. As you can see, I'm doing 1 here because this won't be such. This is a spur, and even though it's a fairly busy spur, it won't be super well maintained. Maintained well enough, but not super well maintained. So I got that laid. I'll talk about why I haven't laid any more here yet when I get to what I plan on doing in the future. Another area that's been laid is New London siding. So both my sidings are complete. I have 2 full-size sidings that can fit both my standard train size of 14 cars plus 2 or 3 locomotives. This is the Foxy interchange yard. That's completely laid with the cork. That's 2 layers thick because the Foxy, or the Fox Valley and Lake Superior, is a fairly new railroad. I figured that prior to the Foxy existing, there would be no need for the GB&W and CN to interchange in New London. New London is at the end of a Fox Valley and Lake Superior line right now, and when the CN ran it prior to 2021, if I got my dates right, I believe it was 2020. Well, actually, no, it would have been 2022 was the first year of the Foxy. So prior to that, there'd be no need for an interchange there. The CN interchanged with the Green Bay and Western, 2 other locations. So why at the end of a decrepit old branch line? So this will be a fairly new, well-maintained yard. And it'll give us some pretty decent switching opportunities. And one day, I hope to have enough locomotives that I have a Fox Valley and Lake Superior locomotive that can come off the sneak-off track that goes into staging back here and switch the yard and sneak back off for some extra operational intrigue. So, yep, got both sidings done, and yeah, I got the yard done. Pretty excited about that. Had to move a bunch of stuff around so I'd have room to work, but it's working great. You know, I'll even show you. Let me move these cars out of the way. I'm gonna route my train onto these through the furthest track up there. So here comes the train. So even with auto racks, the 3-well intermodal cars, she's working great. So that's either a testament to the Atlas track being good, or maybe to my skills. I doubt it's because of my skills, but yeah, as you can see, it's taking it. And it's not exactly the world's best curvature and stuff in there. And then even this little, I don't know if I'd call that S-curve, but it's pretty tight for those cars. So yeah, pretty excited that all works. Don't ever plan on running intermodal or well cars through there, but at least I know I can do it if I really want to. So what's next on the layout? Well, a couple things that I gotta do before I can lay more track here. Backdrops need to be done. If you see this dashed line right here, I plan on having a curved backdrop. So I don't want to quite lay the track here for the little yard. I'm worried that if I do that, I'll have to cut the track again, and I might as well just do it all in one shot. So I'll probably put a piece or 2 of leftover flex track that doesn't quite fit somewhere, so that I can at least switch it and have some operations. Yeah, probably not going to be a big priority until I get the backdrops in. So I want to get backdrops at least here done. I only have a tethered throttle that doesn't quite fit onto the other side. So when I'm in New London, it's kind of a pain to operate locomotives and stuff. So I'll have to either buy a wireless throttle first, get a new port over here so I can put the tether in. So things that got to get done before that. One thing I've noticed in New London here is it gets kind of dark in the corners here, unlike the rest of the layout. Like, I don't even film right here. I tried doing a version of my beginning of the layout that came from here. It just looked bad because of the lighting. So I'm using these fairly cheap $30 LED lights that I just can daisy chain together, and I got a little plug up there that they plug into that Alexa controls, so I can turn on and off the layout lights with just telling my Alexa device to do it. It's fairly convenient when she listens. So yeah, I'll probably move this one down there somewhere, probably like butt it right up to that beam there, and then I'll probably get another one here and then put it right about there. That'll make this corner a lot brighter. Let's see, when it comes to track work, duck under here, I believe this will be the next area, the cheese factory. I'm going to lay track work for that. Probably going to be the foam roadbed. It's a fairly large business. I want it to look that way, so yep, we'll have hopefully lay that soon, and then I should have enough track to finish off the flour mill spur here in whoops, this doesn't go here. Don't get the wrong impression. The flour mill spur here in Seymour. So that'll give me some switching. I'm planning, or I should be getting a locomotive here for my birthday coming up here soon. So I'm excited about that. I should have another locomotive to run. Maybe I can run some opposing trains. And then I was thinking about sometime this spring or early summer getting one more locomotive, either another main line or if I something that I can use for local switching. It really depends on what locomotive I get for my birthday too, so we'll see about that. And then I'm going to try my hand at weathering with powders. I've never done that. I got this Monroe Models weathering pack, dry mud, Delta dirt, and medium rust. So I think we'll probably do a video on weathering some freight cars. Weathering some freight cars and see how I do with that. I'm a dry brusher. It's kind of what I normally do. So we'll see. That's kind of what I plan on having. And long-term plans, hopefully I can start laying some track here in the staging yard. That would be really great to have a place to stage some trains, and then I can really get operations going. Even if it's just 2 or 3 tracks to begin with, that would really make this layout start to hum. Having 3 locomotives and staging and some of my spurs laid, I'm pretty excited. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'd like to thank everybody who watched my 48 top-notch track plan video. That video did gangbusters compared to the rest. And hope you guys like the rail fanning videos. I got a few more queued up ideas, things like that. I'm headed down for a trip to Rochelle, Illinois here, again because of my birthday. So I'm excited, and I'll film some of that and see what kind of video I get out of that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out the in-screen videos. Please like and subscribe.